Hello, and welcome back to Women for Wealth. So today I want to talk about tips and donations. So this is something that gives me a lot of heartburn. I remember being the teenager. I remember working the jobs where you needed tips. My kids work jobs where they needed tips. I understand that. But this tipping culture has gotten insane. So first of all, what percentage should you tip? I tip 10% unless the waiter or waitress is really, really, really good. And then we will do what we call a tip up, where, we know what our budget is for that week. We know what we plan to spend. Maybe we have an extra 10, maybe you have an extra $20 that week. If we've got extra money and someone's done a really good job, then we will tip them up and we'll basically tip them whatever that weekly variance is for us. If we've been very frugal, we've got $100 left at the end of the week and we go out on a date night and we have a nice meal and the person does a really good job, maybe we tip them $100. We've done that before. But this whole 30% thing, y'all, I can't do it. I don't think anybody can do it. The economy right now is so uncertain, and I think, personal opinion here, I think we need to get rid of tip culture. If you go back and you look at the history of tips and where they came from, it really came out of slavery. So what happened was you had all these plantation owners that considered slaves their property, and so they didn't pay them as employees. And so when slaves were abolished and then, the people had to go get jobs, well, the plantations didn't want to pay them what they were worth. They've been, getting it for free basically for years, and they didn't want to pay a full living wage. So they came up with this crazy thing of, I don't know, half of whatever the rate is. And then, people tip and supplement the income. I don't know. Anyway, I'm against it. I think we need to get rid of tip culture. It's confusing as all get out. It used to be you tipped your waitress, your waiter, your waitress, and now you tip everybody. Y'all, I went to Walmart the other day at the end when I was checking out. It asked me for a tip and then it asked me for a donation. Now, I did self-checkout. So what am I tipping for? Walmart, you're asking me to supplement a living wage for your employees when you are a multi-billion-dollar company and you make hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit every year, or probably million, I don't know. I need to look it up. But Walmart is extremely profitable and they're asking me and you to supplement their employees' livable wage. And I think that's ridiculous and I think we need to get rid of it. And then let's talk about this donation thing. So after it asked for a tip, then it asked me for a donation. Now, I am all for supporting charitable organizations, especially a charitable organization that helps with animals or children. I have a soft spot for children. I have a soft spot for animals. I do a lot of donations there, but I do not and will not ever donate to a corporation or through a corporation, because here's what happens. My donation then gets bundled with every other person who shopped at Walmart's donations, and then Walmart takes the credit. Walmart does this big PR campaign of, we gave so much money to the children's hospital, or, we gave so much money to children's leukemia research, whatever it is. They take the PR credit. They act like they've done something great when they haven't donated a dime of their money. It's all the customer's money. Plus, they take that charitable donation, they claim it on their taxes, so they reduce their taxable income and their tax burden, and you don't get that. But if you donate directly to a charity that you've researched and you know is a good charity, well, then you can then take that tax deduction on your taxes. And so I think that's a better way to go. Plus, let's be honest, nonprofits have gone insane. There's so much money in nonprofits now. You look at some of the big ones. I think Susan G. Komen, the last time I looked, only 8 cents for every dollar they raised actually went to breast cancer research. 8 cents. The rest of $1 of donation went to overhead and functioning and operating costs. paying some CEO a ton of money. Well, I don't want my money going to an organization's operations and their CEO. I want my money going directly to whatever cause I want to support. So I do the research. I find the nonprofits that I know do a good job, and most of the donation goes to what it's supposed to go for. I donate directly. I get my receipt. I collect them. I give them to my tax person at the end of the year, and then I have my taxable income reduced. And so that I think is a better way to go. I think you ought to consider that. But y'all, that's my rant for today. I'm sorry. I know I got on a soapbox. Yeah. Tips, don't listen to them. You don't have to tip everybody. Don't feel ashamed if you don't want to tip or you can't tip because you met your budget that week. If you can tip and you have the ability to tip, I definitely think you should. Tip up if you can. If you can't, give what you feel comfortable with. But this whole tip shaming, we need to stop it. And corporate donations where they take donations from their customers, that's ridiculous. Y'all, I heard the other day, I think it was Target. I think it was Target that I heard the manager at the Target store incentivize their cashiers to ask for more donations, and a cashier that was able to get the most donations during a particular time frame got a bonus. Now the bonus was a small fraction of what the total donations were, but that allowed, you know, again, Target's taking the credit. Target's doing the PR, good filling campaign. They're taking the tax deduction. What are you getting out of it? Yeah, one cashier probably got a $20 bonus, $100 bonus. I think it was a $50 bonus, if I remember correctly. So that cashier got a $50 bonus, which probably helped that individual cashier out, which I am all for. But the shame that these people feel, it's checking out and the cashier saying, would you like to donate $1? Or what do they call it? It's point of sale charity. Do you want to round up? Your bill is $10.23. Would you like to round up to 11 and give the difference in the change to the children's hospital? Well, 9 times out of 10, people are going to say yes, but maybe they can't. Maybe they don't. Maybe that doesn't align with their values. It doesn't mine. I'm always going to say no because I'm going to want to have control of my money and I'm going to want to donate it where I know that it does the best good. And so I'm not going to round up and I'm not going to give that money. I'm going to save that money and I'm going to